Welcome travelers, I'm Free2Player and I'm your guide for a successful free-to-play adventure on Ostterra. Today you'll learn everything about buffs and debuffs in about 10 minutes. Okay guys, getting maximum damage on a character is not as hard as you think, even for a free-to-play gamer. You just have to understand what the game tells you and what not. I will go through every buff and debuff concerning this topic of increasing your damage. For example, I use 2B. Why? I will tell you in a minute. But at first, let's look at her equip. I just equipped the Berserk Sword for the maximum damage right now, and I will get 2 accessories which boost her sword damage. In this case, I will not use the Skilled Warrior Emblem, I will use the Mighty Warrior Emblem 3, because this gives even a physical attack up plus 20, which gives a better attack at all. Both of them will add 20% of sword damage as a passive. And a passive buff is always given by equipment, so you have to consider that for your team building. Okay, let's get it started. Okay, I will tackle August again. Last time he had to suffer because of the other debuff guide I did, and now he will do again. As you entered the battle, you can see in the top right corner what passives you already got. It's a little cryptic first, but you can guess what every of this symbol means. This one is her maximum crit up, and this one is for evading and getting a BP, and this one is the sword damage up we got from the accessories. And now I use the Savage Assault at maximum BP to guarantee a critical hit, just to have some dependent values, because with other attacks I get sometimes a crit and sometimes not. So let's get into it. Here uses attack, but I don't care, and here goes 30,000 damage with a single Savage Assault with the 2 passives we already got. Okay, let's get a few more buffs and debuffs on this enemy. I will continue with only passive buffs right now, so I get every character out which gives a passive to August or to my to-be. Alright, I get a Barad, which has the ability to get 15% more damage up for 3 turns, which is totally enough for this example, but you can get around the 3 turns with another one. But I will get another thief right now, which is Nicola, which also gives a physical attack up, but only by 5%, but for the full front row. You would normally put her in the back in this case, but I will get another character to swap with her to activate another passive skill, and this is Lynette. You maybe already heard of her. Every time she exchanges the row, she gives a passive of 10% to elemental attack and physical attack. And if there is already a passive going on, like the one from Barad, you extend the duration of this passive buff. So it doesn't matter if it's 3 rounds from Barad, it will be even more. And one is still missing, but she will not affect the whole battle, and I will tell you later why. But for this section she will give a good cause. She has the initial sword res drain, which gives all foes 15% sword damage down, and this is also a passive. Alright, so let's get into the battle again. So the first thing we want to do here is to swap Lynette with a Nicola to get the passive physical damage up to exactly 30%, which is the cap. Together with the sword rest down, we do 12,000 more damage, and this is huge just from the 30% passives. So we can extend this whole thing with active buffs and debuffs. To be herself got a debuff here, which is a gravity, and this reduces the physical defense by 15%. I have also another character which reduces the physical defense, and this is Viola, and I will get her into the team right now. She has a skill which is called Debilitate 2, and this decreases 25%. So it won't be 40% as you first guessed. No, it will be kept to 30%. But without 2B's gravity, it won't only be 25%. So I just do it for the 30% cause. Okay, enough with the debuffs right now. There we already have the 30%. We go to the 30% buff, and therefore I need Pia. Pia is another very useful unit which has Take Command, and this raises the physical attack up by 15%. And together with Lynette we already have in our team, we can push this even further to 30% with her masterful cheer, which increases the physical attack and elemental attack by 20%. So we can stack up here to 30% buff also. She also has a skill which is called Masterful Moves, which boosts up of a single target 15%. So Lynette has the ability to cap the 30% all by herself with 2 different skills. Okay, let's get into battle again. And now we use everything we already had, but now the debilitate and the gravity to reduce August's physical defense, and I will also go with Pia and with Lynette to increase the physical attack of every member here. So there's much going on right now here, but with all the explanation I did before, I think you can get the gist right now what I'm doing here, and it should be very clear that with this method I can go to 30% passive damage up and right now 30% damage up from the active. So let's do the Savage Assault again, and this time we do 35,000 more damage than in the first example without every additional buff. Okay, let's get even further. With the newest method of the ultimates established in this game, I can use a Billy, and Billy has one of the most impressive ultimates which reduces the physical defense by 20% on all foes, but this is not stacking onto the one we already had with the gravity and with abilitate. It also stacks in the different levels, so we can use passives, actives, and we can use the ultimates to get a 90% of damage up. Okay, Knack of Business with Pia does also increase the physical attack up by 20%, and we have Lynette with her Child of the Dance, which at level 10 gives 20% damage up. I don't have her at ultimate level 10, so it's only 19%, but in this example it doesn't matter because ultimate stacking is only until 30%. So the damage I will do will increase overall, but will a bit decrease because of all the turns I have to take. As you remember, the 15% sword resistance down will only be available for 3 turns, and I will exceed the 3 turns, so it will be 15% damage down in this case, but the duration could also be increased by other units I don't have right now. So, but without further ado, let's go into the last section of the video to do the last amount of additional damage. Okay, we do exactly what we have done before, but right now we have to use maximum BP to get the ultimate bar rising, and with Lynette with her only level 9 ultimate it is not a simple task because she needs one more turn to recover 1 BP which is left, only to use her ultimate in the turn afterwards. So I'll make it a bit different right now. I will use just no BP on one of her skills, and the next turn I will use the procedure will continue as before. The debilitate will strike and the gravity of TB to get the active debuff of 30% again. And I know it's very time consuming to do all this stuff, but it will be worth it if you have an opponent which needs a lot of damage to be taken care of. So let's get into the next round. We used Pia's free BP now to get her ultimate bar rising to the maximum level, and with the other units we just attack or do something else. And as you've been wondering why Billy had a 3 BP at the beginning of the battle, I had a Balin dagger on him which recovered 1 BP at the start of this turn. I also equipped it on Pia, so it was a 50-50% chance of who got the 1 BP first, but that's only good to know. Okay, now we start with the first ultimate here, and therefore I use Pia because her ultimate is lasting 3 turns. Lynette's only 2, but with the additional Brave Fan from the Bravely Default collab, we can go to 3 turns as Pia did. So let's use one ultimate right now, and Lynette will use her in the next turn as Billy will do. Right now the sword resistance down is already active, but I have to wait 2 turns to attack right now. And because of the speed buff which Pia gave to 2B, Billy's ultimate will trigger after her attack. So I have to retreat from the Savage Assault again and use every ultimate here to stack to 30% ultimate damage up from 2B and to decrease the physical damage of August by 20% even more with Billy's ultimate. Okay, now is the last turn and we can finally use the Savage Assault at the maximum damage. And this is 62,000 damage more than in the first example. And if the enemy is broken, we do 100% more damage when we used to. And in this case, if To Be could exceed the amount of 99,999, she could do 165,000 damage. This is amazing how much damage you can do. And with another A4 accessory which is coming out in the near future, as I've heard, you can even do this what I have done right now. But for now, 99,999 is the maximum damage we can do. And if you have buffed your Therion or your A2 to maximum damage, they can do this twice. So it is amazing how much damage you can do in this game. And we didn't even end the Bestower of chapter. And we can be so excited to see what will happen in the next updates. And for everyone who wanted to know, this is a white ice crystal. If you have any questions regarding this topic, please write them in the comments or write in my new Discord group. And if you'd like this channel to class up, I really appreciate a subscription and thumbs up. See you next time. You're free to player.